Hello, lovers and haters, likers and dislikers. My name is Shannon Gregory. I'm originally from Indiana, which makes me a Hoosier, but now I'm a sinner. I live in Vegas, Sin City, and all I got for living here is this lousy t-shirt. So I made some factual errors in my recent video that I posted about my love to travel, my wanderlust. That led me to my adventure in San Diego with the ocean battle. One, I said I'm 50, but I'm actually 51. I guess after you reach the halfway point, you just stop counting, I guess. I don't know. But I'm making myself younger than I am. But I'm actually 51, not 50. It's just a number, right? Like I said, I don't feel old. Like Cher, who recently, she's in her 70s or whatever, said that when will I feel old? I feel the same way. I feel fantastic. So it's just a number. But I'm 51, not 50. And then, and I've lived every moment, so I want credit for it. That's why I'm correcting the record. And then also, I said that when I went, I had never been west past Illinois when I went to San Diego that time. But I explained that I had gone to Mexico in 10th grade. So I guess that's technically farther west than Illinois. But I guess I want to correct it and say west in the U.S. was the farthest I had been, and it was Illinois. And then also, I realized that when I said I went to Acapulco, which I did, I would have seen palm trees there. Not my first one in San Diego. So I don't know. San Diego was a very big one for me because it was California, so I'm really stressing that. And I guess I saw the Pacific Ocean also in Acapulco. But anyway, I'm correcting the record for those two moments. I had mentioned also Liberace in some of my previous videos. And Liberace, I was a fan. I'm not gonna lie. I was a fan of Liberace in the 70s and 80s. As a little boy and everything, I thought he was just fantastic. I thought he was a great entertainer, and I would watch Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous to learn all about him. Although I find him quite tacky now. His excesses and flamboyance were fun, but his excesses in taste, I think, were quite tacky. But they're him, and they're fun. And people probably say I'm tacky, and I'm sure they do. Maybe I am, but I'm me too. But I love flamboyant people like Liberace, but there's a laundry list of people that I adore who are flamboyant, like Dolly Parton, Liberace, RuPaul, Madam. If you don't know who Madam is, it's like Jeff Dunworthy, I forgot, the guy who does the ventriloquist dolls, who I've actually seen in concert. It's hilarious. But it's like that. But Madam was from the 70s, and this diva character and hilarious, and I love Madam. So I love the flamboyant people. I love the body, irreverent, and ostentatious humor, which probably has informed my approach to humor and living, and I don't regret a moment of it. So I thank all those people who have brought their influence into the world and into my life and have made my living very colorful. So thank you, Liberace, Dolly Parton, RuPaul, Madam, everybody out there. Thank you. So, but I want to pay tribute to Liberace. As I said, he had a residency here in fabulous Las Vegas for a number of years. He was known as Mr. Showmanship. He was quite a character, quite loud, flamboyant, wonderfully entertaining, and tongue-in-cheek, and not afraid to make fun of himself, which I love. I love self-deprecating humor is one of my favorites. But I got to, Liberace passed away in the 80s, in 87. And so I never ever got to see him live or anything, but I remember the first time I got to come to Las Vegas, which was in 1998. A friend and I, I lived in Bloomington, Indiana at that time, working at Indiana University. I had an opportunity because like I said, I had wanderlust, so I was any chance I had. I honestly had some resources to travel. I traveled, so we did a quick little trip to Las Vegas during the Thanksgiving break, which we got extra days off at work. So we came for a 4-day trip to Las Vegas in 98. And at that time, the Liberace Museum was still open. It has since closed in 2010, I believe. But I did get to visit it in 98, and I had to make a trek to it. It was on my agenda for sure when I was in Vegas that time. And I remember going, and it was quite a story that I want to share with you. So as I said, Liberace always denied being gay. It's the worst kept secret in the history of the world, let's just be honest. But he did always deny being gay, although the record shows that he was. Definitely. I mean, how can you not? Watch the man. Come on, please. you have to be blind, not to realize. No offense to anyone who's visually impaired. I don't mean that like that. But you have to be clueless to not realize. I think I'm digging a hole here, I'm sorry. But you have to be clueless not to realize Liberace is gay. And I don't mean any offense to anyone, please. As I mentioned in another video, this is a safe space for everybody. So anyway, so we went to the Liberace Museum. And so we go in and we meet a docent, one of the people who talks about the museum, a volunteer kind of person. And again, no offense to the women who are his fans are kind of known as the blue hair women, and they adore Liberace. They called him Lee. Informally, he was known to his friends and everyone as Lee. And they called him Lee, the docent called him Lee. I don't know if she had ever met him, but anyway, she was like, what they say about Lee, it's not true. And we were like, you don't say. Yeah, they're in denial. Still, at that time in '98, the people who were working there still carrying the mantle that Liberace was not a homosexual, that he was wronged in the media. He did famously win a lawsuit in England in the 50s, I believe, when a reviewer, a critic, insinuated that he was gay, and he actually won, because in that country, it's easier to win cases against public figures to win cases when they feel like they are wronged in the media. Unlike in this country, you really have a hard battle to win defamation in court, because it's just the First Amendment's that strong, and I think it should be. When you're in the public media, when you're in the public arena, you're in the public arena. So it's fair game, right? But anyway, he won in England, so I think he built his own prison with that. And plus, it was not easy it's not easy being gay. It's even to this day, look at what was going on in the world, in this country especially, it's not. And in the 80s, 70s, it was definitely not. And it was much more derided than it is even now. We're much more celebrated and welcomed in places like corporations and universities and schools, and some places, more so than ever, even though there's, the movements to silence it. But I'm not going to be political. I don't want to be there. I want to be happy and share some good stuff. So anyway, so the docent was like, what they say about Lee is not true. We're like, you don't say. So we go about our belt and do a self-tour. And I'm like, how can these women not see what's going on? The place is on fire. The museum is burning down, okay? He's on fire. He's so flaming. I mean, I was worried that I might become more gay by being in the Liberace Museum. I mean, I'm a flaming queen too. But I'm like, can I become more gay by being in here? I mean, the place, I can't even pay it justice. If you see any clips of Liberace, you'll know what I mean. And it was just tip of the iceberg of his lifestyle and his collections. I mean, there were more china and antiques in there. It would rival the Vatican's collection. I'm not joking. It's insane. And then talk about the furs and the glitter and the sequins. Oh my dear Lord, he had glitter pianos, rhinestone Rolls Royces. I mean, come on. I don't even think RuPaul is that flamboyant, okay? And I love RuPaul. But anyway, he was a character, but I'm like, they still deny it. And I'm like, I'm afraid if I leave here that I'm going to have the urge to wear glitter go-go boots and furs too. And I don't want that. I had a previous period in my life in the 80s when I wanted to do that. I don't want to go back there, okay? I don't want to wear glitter go-go boots and furs now. But I'm worried about that from the Liberace Museum. He was the character, and it was a place. Unfortunately, it closed, so you can't go see what I got to see and experience, but watch him on YouTube and whatnot. He's hilarious too. And cheers to Liberace, and may his memory always live on. There will never be another Liberace. There will not be, no matter how we all try to emulate it or and bring his influence. No one's ever going to match that flame and flamer. But until next time, toodles, bye-bye.